you looking pretty today.
Thank you, Paul.
Mark Templeton must be coming over to see you.
Yes, sir. He's fetching me over a scuba suit. Gonna learn me to be a frog woman.
You two seem to be hitting it off pretty good.
Yes, sir. I like Mark a whole lot. I'm just sorry Granny don't like him.
Oh, she likes him all right. She just don't understand what he does. She ain't never heard of a Navy frogman before.
She keeps telling him to stay out of the water.
Well, like lots of old folks that ain't never learned to swim, Granny's scared of the water. She'll get over worrying about him.
Thanks for fetching me home, Miss Jane, and for sending me to that nice Dr. Klingler, too.
Well, he's a fine psychiatrist, Granny. If anyone can help you with your bad dreams, he can.
Oh, it's more than bad dreams. If only that Mark Templeton would stay out of the water. Every time he dunks himself, he turns into a frog.
Well, that's his career, Granny. He's a frogman in the Navy.
Why couldn't he be in the Army? Of course, then maybe he'd go underground and turn himself into a gopher man. I don't know.
Well, try not to let it worry you, Granny. But if you should have any more nightmares, don't hesitate to see Dr. Klingler.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Now listen, Mark. I'm gonna have Ellie kiss you and turn you back into a man like she done before. But please, this time, stay out of the cement pond. I don't know whether that's a yes or a no. But it better be a yes. I'm too old for this kind of foolishness. Oh, Ellie. Thank heavens we's alone. Have you missed Mark?
Sure have, Granny.
Would you like to see him again, tall and handsome and in his uniform?
Is he here?
He will be. He will be. Just take him out of the cage and kiss him.
Well, Granny, I don't want to do that.
Well, you gotta take him out of the cage, Ellie, or he'll swell up and bust it.
Well, Granny, I feel silly kissing a frog.
Well, I won't watch. You take him outside and do it.
All right, I'll take him outside. I'm awful sorry Granny keeps hauling you around in this here cage. There. Now you can hop down to the cement pond, have yourself a swim.
Hi, Ellie, eh?
Hi, Mark.
I brought you scuba gear.
Thank you.
Who's your friend?
Oh, that's Granny's pet frog. She named him Mark.
I guess I should be flattered, but I'm not so sure.
Oh, she's right fond of him, but she keeps wanting me to kiss him.
She must be hoping he'll turn into a prince. Like I said before, who needs competition?
Thank you for another miracle. I'll try and keep him out of the water this time, so I won't have to bother you no more. Oh, bless you, Ellie, for doing as I told you. Oh, Mark, you look wonderful.
Well, thank you, Granny.
I'll go get into my swimming suit and meet you down by the cement pond.
Fine.
Wait a minute. What was that?
Mark's gonna learn me to swim underwater and be a frog woman.
Oh, no, Ellie, don't go near the water, and don't let him get wet again either.
Oh, it's all right, Granny.
Really it is, Granny.
You stay out of this, frog boy. Ellie, listen to me, dear. Stay away from the cement pond, both of you.
Don't get upset, Granny. Mark won't let nothing happen to me.
He can't even stop what happens to him.
What are you talking about?
You don't remember what happened down at the cement pond?
No.
You don't remember me pulling you out and taking you to the doctor?
No.
You don't remember him telling you to stay out of the water?
No.
See? His brain shrinks up with his body.
Granny, that ain't nice.
Nice, it's downright ugly.
I'll meet you down to the pond, Mark.
Okay,
Oh,
Ellie.
Ellie, please, I'm pleading with you. Don't, please.
Granny, there's no danger. You can come and watch.
I wouldn't watch that gruesome sight for nothing.
I'll see you at the pool.
Oh, no, you won't.
Granny, let go.
Granny, get off his back.
You ain't turning my only granddaughter into no frog woman.
What's going on in here?
Granny's jumped on Mark's back and won't get off.
Granny, get down from there. Stop riding that boy.
Not until he promises to stay out of the water.
He can't promise that.
Well, then get a rope. We'll tie him up.
I'll tie you up. Get off his back.
No!
Hey, y'all playing horse and rider. Come on, Ellie. Hop on my back and we'll joust him.
Jethro, we ain't playing. Now tote Granny up to her room and lock her in.
Hop on, Granny.
Stay away from me, you big boob.
Come on. All right, Jethro, tote her upstairs.
Now, let me go. Let me go, you big lunkhead. This whole family's gone crazy. Let me go. Help! What's going on in here? What is all this?
Ellie is marrying Mark Templeton. This is Judge Marshall. He's going to perform the ceremony.
You can't do it, Judge. The groom is a frog man. When he gets wet, he turns frog.
Madam, please. The ceremony's about to begin. Here comes the best man.
Jethro, where's the groom?
We're running a little late. He wanted to take a shower.
Ooh, don't let him, Jethro. Please stop him from getting... Ah! It's too late. He got his head wet. Miss Jane, don't let him go through with this thing. Stop him, please. Dad, take a look at the groom. You can't let your daughter marry that thing.
Granny, please, this is a solemn occasion.
Solemn is pitiful.
We are gathered here to join this couple in wedlock. Who gives this woman to be married to this frog?
I do.
Mark Templeton, do you take this woman for your lawfully wedded wife? Ellie Mae Clampett, do you take this frog to be your lawfully wedded husband?
Say no.
I do.
I now pronounce you frog and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Yes, Ellie, kiss him. Maybe it'll turn him back into a man. No. Oh, no.
Have a nice honeymoon, youngins.
No. 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 Stop him, somebody. Stop him. Jed. Help, Jed. Help.
What's the matter, Granny?
Jed, did Ellie Mae and that frog man get married, Jed?
No.
Oh, praise be. You can't let this courtship go any further, Jed.
Now, Granny.
Do as I say, or you're going to hear the pitter-patter of little web feet.
Granny, you come over here and take another one of these tranquilizers and light up. Granny, come back here.
This sure is a pretty scuba suit, Mark.
Well, I thought you ought to have something a little fancier in our Navy gear.
These flippers sure is hard to walk in.
It's a little awkward on land, but they'll feel great in the water.
Granny, stay away from the young'un.
Ellie, Mark, get your feet out of the water quick. Oh, no. Too late.
Granny, come away from there.
But, Jed, look what's happening.
That's none of your concern. Come on now.
Don't get nothing else wet, I'm begging you. It'll be gruesome.
Say, does it look like a serious romance between Ellie Mae and that Navy lieutenant?
Does indeed.
You know, if he marries Ellie Mae, he's going to come into $30 or $40 million.
He will.
Oh, I love that boy. He's just like my own son.
Chief, you threw him out of your office. He can't stand you. He despises you.
Yeah, I've got to get on his good side and fast. Think of something.
When it comes to devious, underhanded schemes, no one can give you advice.
Yes, I guess I am pretty hard to beat. Oh, I think I've got the germ of an idea.
I'm sure germ is the perfect word.
Careful, Hathaway. One of these days, you're going to push my sweet, generous nature too far.
You are about as sweet and generous as a hungry wolf.
Hello, Lieutenant.
Oh, it's you. You're wearing Navy fatigues.
Aye, aye, sir. I always wear them when I swab the deck. I mean, wash off the patio.
You're Navy?
Didn't you know? Oh, yes, I went through the whole thing. Pearl, Guadalcanal, Midway, Coral Sea, Philippines. I really saw the action.
How'd you get hurt?
Oh, is it noticeable? Well, it only bothers me when I'm around water.
Shell fragment?
Shark bite.
Your ship went down, huh?
3 of them.
You really did see some action.
Well, I don't like to talk about it. But it was pretty rough out there. As my skipper used to say to me, Spunky, he'd say, we can't quit. We're Navy.
Well, let me ask you something. When I first walked into your office, I was wearing my Navy uniform. You treated me like dirt.
Well, son, I'll level with you. For 5 long years, I took orders from officers. Kids not dry behind the ears. 90-day wonders barking at me. Swab that deck, sailor. Polish that gun, Mac. Tote that shell. Lift that hatch. When I saw you walking in wearing that officer's uniform, all came back to me. I just saw red.
I can understand that.
No hard feelings, sir?
Of course not. And don't call me sir.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, no, there's all frog but the head.
Aren't they a great couple? I'm responsible for that, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me. All 3 of you can go frog together.
Did Granny sure enough push Mr. Drysdale in the cement pond?
Like to drown the poor man.
I wish somebody would drown me so I don't have to see the monstrous trouble that's coming to this family. A bunch of frog brains, that's what you are.
Put her on the bed.
Put me down, you big lummox. Put me down.
Now, take another one of them tranquilizers and get some sleep.
I don't want to go to sleep. I'll have another horrible nightmare.
Well, stay in here and get some rest anyway. Now, Jethro, I want you to lock this door, stand guard, and don't open it. Can you understand that?
Of course I can. You're talking to a 6th grade educated brain.
Fine.
I'll just stay out here and read old Jim Owen's book. It's full of funny stuff.
Yeah, that might be just a thing to get Granny's mind off her troubles. Let me have that. Granny, I got something here that's going to cheer you up. Old Jim Owen from back home wrote a book, and it's a dandy. Old Jim says right here on the back page, if you're too busy to fish, you're too busy.
I don't want to hear nothing about fish, nor frogs, nor nothing that comes out of the water.
Well, now, here's a good one. You listen to this. A while back, a friend of mine had money trouble, and I helped him out. He says, I won't forget you, Jim. And he kept his word. He's in trouble again, and he just called me. Well, I reckon you're just not in the mood for funny stories. Well, have a good rest. Jethro,
What you want?
open the door.
I can't. I got orders to keep it locked.
I'm the one that give you the orders.
Yes, sir. And my 6th grade educated brain is hanging on to 'em.
Jethro, unlock the door and I'll feed you. Good boy.
Thank you. Did the book cheer her up?
Oh, I'm afraid not.
Hey, I know something that might. Remember that frog she had in the cage she was so crazy about?
Yeah, she did seem right took with that thing.
Well, maybe I could find it and fetch it to her.
Worth a try.
I'll do her.
Found him, huh?
Found 2 of them down by the cement pond.
Fine. Now, if Granny's asleep, don't wake her.
Gotcha. Hey, Granny, what you doing?
Oh, Jethro, I spilled some water on the bed, and I'm hanging the sheets out to dry.
Oh, well, I found these 2 frogs swimming in the cement pond. Figured they might be good company for you.
Mark and Ellie, why wouldn't you listen to me? If I told you once, I told you a dozen times to stay out of the water. Now look at you. Won't do you no good to kiss now. You're both frogs. Well, let's hope and pray that Dr. Klingner can help you. Sorry to bother you again, Doctor.
Not at all. I was hoping you'd come back.
You remember Mark Templeton, the lieutenant in the United States Navy?
Oh, of course. Hello again, Lieutenant.
The other one is my granddaughter, Ellie Mae.
Oh, this is the girl you told me about, the one who's in love with Mark here.
Yes. She's a beautiful girl, Doctor.
They're a handsome couple.
They want to get married, but who's going to give them 2 a wedding?
Well, I wouldn't let that worry me. In their case, a marriage ceremony isn't really important.
Doctor, what are you suggesting?
Well, I mean, they're just...
I can't speak for him. He's a sailor. But my granddaughter was raised up proper. She's a decent church-going girl.
She goes to church.
Every Sunday. Back home, she used to sing in the choir.
Oh, well, that does shed a different light on the situation. We must observe the proprieties, the conventions.
You bet your cotton-picking pill bottle. Ellie's gonna have a beautiful wedding with flower girls and everything.
Fine. Well, now, suppose you take them back home now and call me for a regular appointment.
There ain't no use for me to take them home. I've done all I can for them. Now it's up to you.
What exactly is up to me?
You got to turn them 2 frogs into a handsome Navy lieutenant and a beautiful blonde girl.
Oh, that's going to take some doing.
Take your time. I'm leaving here. And when you've earned your fee, you have Miss Jane drive them home.
Miss Jane, that would be Miss Hathaway?
Yep. She's the one that recommended you. Says you're the greatest there is.
Well,
All you gotta do now is prove it.
Get me Miss Hathaway, please. Dr. Freud, I've read everything you've ever written, but you never covered this one.
She told you what?
She said she was hanging the sheets out the window to dry. And she was right. They's dry as a bone.
Boy, you are not to be believed.
Oh, but thank you.
Go out and find your granny.
I don't know where she is.
Go find her! Get moving!
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes.
Sure do thank you for the scuba lesson, Mark.
How about another one tomorrow?
Dandy. Oh, come in.
Hello, young lovers.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
Hello, Miss Hathaway.
Well, Ellie Mae, this time I brought you 2 frogs.
Oh, them poor critters. I sure do wish Granny'd stop putting them in cages.
Miss Jane's car. Maybe the doctor done it. Oh, Mark, you're all right. Oh, praise be. Oh, Ellie, you're beautiful. Oh, young'uns, I'm so happy. Miss Jane, thank you. And thank Dr. Klingner for me, too. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go up and lay down. I am dog-tired, plumb wrung out. But before I go, young'uns, promise me you'll never go near the water again.
But, Granny, we can't do that.
In fact, I'm giving Ellie another frog woman lesson in the morning.
No! now!
Granny!
Granny, get off!
Water. I remember back home, when the cricket rise, you couldn't get it across it for love nor money.
I recollect Ma saying that Granny wouldn't set foot outside the cabin in a heavy rain.
That's a fact. I remember one time the creek rose, cut Granny off from her still for a whole month.
What'd she do?
Nothing she could do. Considering the fact we was having a flood, that was the longest dry spell Granny ever had.
Has she always been like that?
Long as I can remember. I wish I had a nickel for every time I heard that woman say,
If the good Lord had meant us to swim in the water, he'd have give us fins and gills. And I hope you explain that to Mark Templeton.
But Granny, Mark can't stay out of the water. It's his job. He's a Navy frogman.
Then get him to quit.
But we both likes the water.
Darling, it ain't natural for humans.
It's fun, Granny. Even Jethro wants to be a frogman.
Oh, no. If Jethro turns into a frogman, his ma will kill me.
Well, Jethro's done said that's what he wants to do.
Well, him I can handle. I'll just cut off his victuals.
Speaking of victuals, Mark says there's more food in the ocean than any other place.
Oh, so that's why Jethro wants to be a frogman.
Mark says there's enough food in the ocean to feed the whole world for hundreds of years.
Not after Jethro's been there for a couple of days.
Ellie Mae,
In the kitchen, Pa.
Mark's here.
Morning, Ellie. Granny.
Howdy, Mark.
Good morning, young fella. Now, Elliot, would you and your pa mind running on for a minute? I got a few things I want to say to Mark.
Oh, yes, Granny.
Now, Mark, something you want, Jed?
Yeah, I want to hear what you're going to say to Mark.
Oh, well, I was just going to tell him how much he resembled John Wayne. He's a cowboy actor, you know.
Yes, I know.
You ever think of being a cowboy?
No, I never have.
Oh, you'd sit tall in the saddle just like John. Up there where it's nice and dry.
I'm afraid I'm not much of a horseman.
Well, it's better than being a frogman.
I was afraid that was coming. Now, Granny, you're just going to have to get used to the notion that Mark likes it, Ellie is took with it, and Jethro is in a cement pond right now learning how to be a frogman.
He's in the water already?
Yes?
Oh, I gotta save him! He's Pearl's baby!
Who's Pearl?
Jethro's ma. And the only woman I know who is as scared of water as Granny.
Hello, Froggy. You can have the cement pond all to yourself. This rubber suit is hot once you get out of the water. Hey, there's some bugs down at the deep end.
Please don't let it be too late for Pearl's sake. Amen. Jethro, are you in there, honey boy? Speak to me. Oh, no. I didn't make it. I'm sorry, Pearl. I've done my best. But you'll be happy to know that he's alive and well and eating as usual. Come on over here, Jethro. Come on, boy. I'll try and get a pretty girl to kiss you. And if that don't work, I'll have to take you to that psychiatrist. Come on, boy. Come on over here. Stop eating them bugs and listen to me. I'm sorry to keep bothering you all the time.
not at all. That's what I'm here for.
None of the girls in the secretarial pool would help me. So now you're my only hope.
Well, I'm glad to know you have faith in me.
Oh, I do. You work wonders with Mark and Ellie.
Oh, yes, they're the frogs you brought in yesterday. Lovely couple.
Thanks to you.
Did they get married?
Not yet. We can't keep them out of the water long enough to have a wedding.
Still hoping for a formal wedding, are you?
Oh, sure. Jethro here is going to be the best man.
Oh, this is Jethro.
Yeah. He's Ellie's cousin, Pearl's boy.
Well, how nice. Well, now, what can I do to help you today?
You can tell Jethro here to stay out of the water. He won't listen to me.
Jethro, stay out of the water, please. For Granny's sake.
And for his mama's sake. Pearl is scared to death of water.
His mother is scared of water?
Won't go near it.
Well, that's very unusual. She's aquatic.
No, she's a Bodine. I don't recollect aquatics. Anyway, Pearl married Fred Bodine, handsome rascal. He come up from Branson, swept Pearl right off of her feet. Poor fella drowned, though.
He drowned?
When Jethro was still a baby. I think that's why Pearl is so scared of water. His paw drowning that way.
Why, don't believe I've ever heard of one of them drowning.
Far as I know, he's the only Bodine who ever did. He was out in a boat with Jim Owen, and it turned over.
And he couldn't swim to shore?
No. The water in Lake Taneycomo is just icy cold. Old Jim died for him time after time. They finally pulled him out unconscious.
Well, old Jim certainly tried his best.
You know Jim, do you?
Not personally, no.
He just wrote a book.
Oh, about the tragedy.
No, it's a book of jokes and funny stories.
Well, he certainly got over it, didn't he?
Well, time is the great healer, as us doctors know.
You're a doctor?
Oh, yeah.
Are you an MD?
That's right. Mountain doctor. I just wish I was good enough to cure Jethro. But you're the only one that can do that. So, I'll leave him with you.
Well, now, just exactly what am I supposed to do for Jethro?
Turn him back the way he was, like you done for Mark and Ellie. You work wonders with them. Ellie's beautiful and Mark's handsome as can be.
Oh, and you want me to make Jethro here handsome?
No, I'll settle for having him the way he was.
You rang, Chief?
I've been ringing for 20 minutes. Where have you been?
I took the girls in the secretarial pool out for a coffee break. They've been through quite an ordeal.
What happened?
Well, it seems Granny took that frog of hers in and insisted they kiss the loathsome creature.
Well, did they?
Well, of course not.
They're fired.
What?
Miss Hathaway, that family has $95 million in this bank. And if they want something kissed, it gets kissed.
But, Chief, a frog!
Frog, hog, dog. I demand loyalty and intelligence.
What is intelligent about...
Is Granny here with that frog she wants kissed?
No. Have you tried the secretarial pool?
Yeah. They wouldn't kiss me neither.
Drysdale's office. Oh, yes, Dr. Lee. She did. Yes, well, I'll take care of her right away. Jethro, don't...
I ain't gonna kiss me.
boy.
Jethro, can Pa borrow your swimming trunks?
Sure, Ellie. It's up in my room.
Ellie Mae, what does your pa want with swimming trunks?
Mark's gonna learn him to be a frogman.
Oh, no. Not him, too.
Jethro, did Ellie come through here?
Yes, sir. She's fetching my swim trunks for you.
Well, I don't want her to say nothing to Granny about me being a frogman. But I'm going to give it a try.
Oh, no, you ain't.
Granny, get off!
You ain't gonna be no frogman. You're the last one I got left.
Jethro, get this wildcat off my back.
Okay, Uncle Jeb. Quick as I finish these bills.
Get her off now.
Here's the swimming trunks, Pa.
We'd best keep them out of sight, Ellie. Your granny's having a conniption fit.
Put me down, you lop-eared jackass.
But, Granny, you said I was your honey boy. You said I was beautiful. You said I had a rosebud mouth.
If I could get a swing at you, you'd have a rosebud nose.
Take her up to her room, Jethro.
Ellie, don't let your pa become a frogman. I'm begging you.
But he wants to, Granny.
Then get a gun and shoot me. I don't want to live with a family of frogs.
Take her on up, Jethro. We'll give her one of them tranquilizers.
Give me gas. Hang me. Poleaxe me. Please, somebody end my suffering.
You go on down to the cement pond, Ellie. Quick as we get Granny quiet, I'll join you.
Yes, sir, Pa.
Granny, I'll put you on your bed so she can have a little nap.
Don't bother. Just throw me in my cedar chest, nail the lid down, and bury me 6 feet deep.
Okay.
What are you doing, boy?
Oh, Granny wants to be buried in her cedar chest. Hey, you nail down the lid, I'll go dig a hole.
Take her out of there.
But you always told me to obey Granny.
Take her out of there and put her on the bed.
Golly.
Don't bother, Jethro. Just throw me out the window.
What are you doing now?
Well, Granny wants to get thrown out the window. Would you please open it for me?
Bring her back here like I said.
You tell me to do one thing, she tells me to do another. I don't know who to listen to.
Listen to me. Put her on the bed. Your Granny swallowed it.
Is it poison?
Of course not.
Then I don't want it.
I know where there's some poison.
Boy, wait out in the hall.
Oh, you try to please everybody, and all you get is yelled at. You say this, I say that. I don't know who to listen to. You tell me.
Take one of these tranquilizers, Granny.
Well, if I do, will you promise to stay out of the water?
No, I won't.
Well, I'm warning you. Jethro will eat your legs.
Maybe you better take 2 of these.
Now, you run along, Jed. I'll be just fine.
That's good. Just rest.
Yeah, that's what I'll do, Jed. I'll just rest.
That's my Granny.
You're a dear, sweet man, Jed. I love you.
I love you too, Granny. No use trying the window. I nail it shut.
You're a mean man, Jed. And you're gonna be a mean frog.
That was wonderful, Mr. Clampett.
Did you say something?
You were great. Just great.
Thank you.
How'd you like it, Pa?
It's fun, just like you said.
Father's just like you and Jethro. Natural. Now, we can only convince Granny.
Forget it. Oh, did you unlock Granny's door?
Yes, sir, Pa.
How is she?
Well, she's just laying on her bed muttering to herself about how she'd have to go see Dr. Klingner again.
Where you going, Granny?
Down to the cement pond and get the latest frog.
Oh, did you change your mind? Gonna cook his legs for me?
Cannibal.
Excuse me, young'uns, I'll get shed of this outfit.
Who's Dr. Klingner?
He's a psychiatrist Granny's seeing.
Good. Maybe he can cure aquaphobia.
Or what?
Fear of water.
Oh, I sure do hope so. Granny's pet frog.
Is that the one she named Mark?
I don't know. I can't tell them apart.
She seems to be able to. Hi, Granny.
Howdy.
Would you like a ride down to Dr. Klingner's office?
I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Where's your paw?
He's changing.
He's changed. Come on over here, Jed.
That's a different one.
I'm glad I'm not the only one Schnabe's frog's after.
Come on, Jed. Swim over here and get in your cage. We got to ride down to Dr. Klingler's office. I hate to keep pestering you, Doctor, but you've done such a good job on Jethro.
Yes, he does seem to look happy.
Oh, this ain't Jethro. This is his uncle, Jed Clampett.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Clampett.
Don't apologize to him. He brought it on himself. I begged him. I pleaded with him. He wouldn't listen. You'd think he'd know better at his age.
Just how old is he?
He's in his 50s.
Really? I didn't know they lived that long.
Oh, yeah. His grandpa lived to be over 100.
Fantastic. Then, of course, many of the amphibious families do have a remarkable lifespan. For example, the terrapins.
I don't believe I know that family. Is they friends of the aquatics?
Yes, they're related.
Oh. Well, I hope the terrapins ain't having the trouble with their kinfolks that I'm having with mine. Especially him. I'm ashamed to admit that he's my son-in-law.
This one is your son-in-law.
Yeah, he's Ellie's pa.
Oh, Pearl's cousin, the one Jethro calls Uncle Jed.
That's right. And I'm Granny to all of them.
Yes. Well, now, what seems to be Jed's problem?
His problem is that he's a frog.
Yes, he definitely is a frog.
And it's so stupid. He's got everything.
What do you mean?
He's worth $95 million.
He is?
Owns a mansion in Beverly Hills. But is he content to stay in it? No, not him. He's got to jump in the cement pond like the rest of his family.
Well, they're just naturally drawn to water.
That's the truth. And I'm getting sick of it. Well, I'll leave him with you, and I hope you can do for him what you done for Jethro.
I'm sure I can.
Bless you, Doctor. I ain't gonna ask you how you do it. You got your professional secrets, and I got mine.
Right, Doctor.
My specialties is poultice and ricins and ease and rheumatiz.
Excellent fields.
If you ever gets to aching in the joints, I got some rheumatiz medicine that's out of this world.
Will it actually cure rheumatism?
No, but it'll make you happy you got it.
Greetings, Mr. Clampett.
Howdy, Miss Jane. Come on in.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett. I'm afraid I haven't time. Dr. Klingler asked me to return Granny's frog. She left it in his office again.
Funny how that woman has took a fondness to these little critters.
Apparently. Well, au revoir.
Oh, thank you.
Dad blames Beverly Hills if you're not hopping hedges, you're dodging dogs. Get off of there and go on back home, you little mutt.
Stop right there. There ain't nobody gonna get that little woman under the water.
I'm sure of that. But I brought along a projector and screen and some underwater film.
Oh, I see what you're getting at.
Believe me, Mr. Clampett, when we show this to Granny, she'll be as hooked as everyone else who's ever had a glimpse of the wonders that exist in the ocean depths.
My doggy's mark could be you got the problem whooped. He's only taking you there on film.
He ain't taking me there on nothing. Put me down. Help! Ellie, help! They're gonna drown me.
Ain't nobody gonna drown you, Granny. Mark's gonna show you a movie.
A movie?
That's right, Granny. I think you'll enjoy it.
Is it a Western? I love cowboy pictures.
This isn't exactly a cowboy picture, but I'm sure you'll like it.
Well, let's all sit down and watch together. Must be mighty interesting exploring under the sea.
It's not only interesting, Mr. Clampett, it's necessary for the survival of the human race.
Is that a fact?
We're gonna have to learn to farm the sea to feed the people of the earth.
Do tell.
Mark knows a heap about it, Pa.
Well, I'd like to hear more.
Look, Granny, ain't that pretty?
Not to me, it ain't. Looks like the time the creek rose and flooded the tater patch.
That's where folks is gonna do their farming someday, Granny.
Well, they sure is gonna have rusty plows. That thing looks like an underwater bat.
Hey, Granny, look at all the fish.
Fish only looks good in a skillet.
Yeah, I bet you never thought there was things like that under the ocean.
No, and let it stay there. Water is for fish and land is for people, and let's keep it that way.
Water isn't such an unnatural place for us, Granny. Many scientists believe that originally we came from the sea.
The only sea I come from was Tennessee.
But, Granny, it's so beautiful down there. I just love to see it.
Honey, you don't know what you're saying. You gotta be a nut to want to go down there.
I want to go.
See what I mean?
Granny, everybody got a right to their own opinion.
Not when they're wrong. Now, Mark, you listen to me. You give up this frogman nonsense and be a cowboy.
Me, a cowboy?
That's right. A range-riding, calf-roping, dust-kicking cowboy. Live on a ranch and raise babies, not guppies.
Don't mind Granny. She's kind of set in her ways.
Yeah, you could plant that little woman and grow 10 acres of stubborn.
I like the picture, Mark. Made me hungry for fish.
Good morning, Chief. Sorry I'm a little late, but what in the world is all this?
All this, Miss Hathaway, is to impress the young Navy lieutenant who, if he marries Ellie Mae Clampett, will come into $40 or $50 million.
You expect to impress him with this? The first time he was here, you throw him out of the office.
Oh, I explained that to him. The natural resentment of a lowly sailor toward an officer.
Lowly sailor, you were in the Army.
That is a secret which shall remain a secret. To Lieutenant Mark Templeton, I am Spunky Drysdale of the United States Navy.
Spunky Drysdale?
3 ships went down under me.
Only 3.
Well, I didn't want to overdo it.
Why the limp?
Shark bite.
Chief, you are not to be believed.
Well, he believed me. To him, I'm as Navy as Bull Halsey.
Well, you certainly fit the first half of that name.
Watch it, Hathaway.
Oh, but Chief, this
Skipper to you. Now think Navy. This is a ship. I am the skipper. You are just one of my crew.
Request permission to mutiny?
Stow that kind of talk, sailor. Now, in 15 minutes, I'm expecting Lieutenant Templeton. I want everything shipshape fore and aft. Hatches battened, bulkheads secured, all hands at the ready. Now, here's your bosun's whistle, your Navy blouse, your hat. Now, heave to.
I may at any moment.
Off the bridge! Off the bridge!
You know, it's kind of hard for an old dirt farmer like me to understand that notion about farming the sea.
But you fired, huh, Pa?
Oh, I am for a fact. The way he explains it makes a lot of sense.
Of course, the most important thing is that we use the resources of the oceans intelligently, not pollute them as we have our atmosphere. And that takes research. Research takes money.
Well, money is something I happen to have a lot of. You recollect how much, Ellie?
Well, last time I heard it was somewhere betwixt 95 and 100 million.
Yeah. Well, what if I was to take about 40, 50 million and chuck it into this research?
I can't think of a better cause than oceanography.
Well, let's talk some more about this after you see Mr. Drysdale.
Okay.
What are you seeing him about, Mark?
He didn't say, Ellie. Just asked me to drop by the bank at 11 o'clock.
Well, see you when you get back.
Bye.
Bye.
Lieutenant Mark Templeton to see you, sir.
Pipe him aboard. Ahoy, Lieutenant. Welcome to the bridge.
Hey, you really are Navy, aren't you?
Ah, it's in my blood. Stand watch, Hathaway. See that we're not disturbed.
Aye, sir.
What time is my next appointment?
Lunch at 12 o'clock.
What was that, sailor?
Sorry, Skipper. Mess at 8 bells.
That's better. Shape up or ship out.
Aye, sir.
And secure that hatch.
You know, I don't remember your office being like this. Of course, you threw me out so fast, I really didn't get a good look.
Well, Lieutenant, I explained that. It was suddenly seeing this uniform and having those war years flash before me. Hearing those young officers yell at me, man that gun, defuse that faulty torpedo.
I know, it must have been rough.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not grousing. It was great training. It taught me how to run this bank the way a captain runs a ship, the just way, the honest way, the Navy way.
Sorry to see that shark bite still bothering you.
A life of pain is a small price to pay for those qualities the Navy gave to me. Character, integrity, and courage.
You're a good man, Spunky Drysdale.
Gosh, sir. No one's called me that since I pulled the skipper out of the water at Midway. But I didn't ask you in to hear about my 5 years of self-sacrifice and devotion. I want to know how things are going with you and Ellie Mae.
Oh, fine. She's a wonderful girl.
And her father's a wonderful man. Wise, too. You know, he keeps his entire fortune in my bank because he knows it has the strength and security of a battleship. And if you should ever come into some money, I'm sure you'll do the same.
Speaking of Mr. Clampett's fortune, he talked to me only this morning about the possibility of taking 40 or 50 million.
My boy, tell me more.
Yes, I think it will interest you because you love the sea, don't you?
Love the sea? Mark, my boy, when this old sailor's heart stops beating in this shark-ravaged body, I want it taken out on the bosom of the Pacific and lowered into the everlasting embrace of Mother Ocean.
You really love it.
More than life itself.
Well, that's great, because you may want to make a donation yourself.
Donation? To what?
Oceanography. That's what Mr. Clampett wants to donate 40 or 50 million for.
Oceanography?
Yes, he's convinced that marine research is...
Where did he get that stupid idea?
Well, for me, but I wouldn't call it stupid.
You're right. Insane is a better word.
Mr. Drysdale, it's for the sea.
It's for the birds. Hathaway on the double.
Aye, sir. You want the lieutenant piped over the side?
I want him thrown over the side.
What?
Get him out of here. If he gives you any trouble, call the shore patrol and have him locked up. He's dangerous.
What happened?
It suddenly went berserk.
Now hear this, off the bridge. Out! Out! They'll lock him in a brig and throw away the key. Lieutenant Lunkhead. It's a maniac. 50 million in the ocean.
Hello? Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, listen, Granny. Now, whatever you do, don't let Ellie get serious about this Lieutenant Templeton. The man's as nutty as a fruitcake.
I've been telling everybody he's a frog brain, but nobody'll listen.
I'll listen. I'm on your side.
Good. That makes 3 of us.
And we'll win. Who's the third one?
Jethro.
Maybe we'll win anyway. I'll be right over.
Hey, what's going on?
We all going down to the cement pond for another scuba lesson.
Where you been?
Fishing?
Catch anything?
Nothing but a mess of frogs. I'm gonna tote them out to the kitchen so that
Hold
Granny...
on, boy. Don't bring Granny no frogs to cook.
Oh, I forgot. She done took a sudden fondness to them critters.
Granny's making pets out of them.
I think she's got one name for every member of the family. And me, too.
I don't know if she does that for love or spite.
Jethro, give me the frogs. We'll toke them down Cement Pond and turn them loose.
Okay. Hey, listen, how about me having another scuba lesson, too?
Come along. There's plenty of gear.
Jethro, I'm surprised you ain't too hungry to swim.
I was, but I stopped off at Mama Nacarelli's and had me 2 dozen pizzas.
2 dozen? All alone?
Oh, no. Had them with spaghetti and meatballs and macaroni and cheese, spumoni, rigatoni, mustard.
Where you been, Mr. Drysdale?
Spying on the enemy. They're all down at the swimming pool learning to swim underwater.
Oh, here we go again. They's gonna turn into frogs.
They look like 4 frogs now.
Well, sit down and have some... 4?
Yes, Mark, Ellie, Mr. Clampett, and Jethro.
Jethro's gone over to their side.
Yeah, things are starting to look up. Thank you. Now, let's plan our strategy. We've got to stop Mark Templeton from marrying Ellie Mae.
He can't marry nobody the shape he's in now.
That's the truth. He wants to pour millions of dollars into the ocean. He hasn't got a brain in his head.
Oh, it's there, but it's shrunk up. Ain't any bigger than the end of your thumb.
I doubt if it's that big.
Well, there's only one person that can help him now. That's Dr. Klingner.
The psychiatrist in my building?
Yeah, Miss Jane told me. He's a whiz.
I hear he's brilliant.
He's the only one that can change Mark when he goes froggy.
Mark has been to Dr. Klingner?
Oh, I had him there a couple of times. Straightened him right out.
Well, take him back. Take him back.
Might as well take all 4 of them.
Good idea. Group therapy.
Well, there you are, Doctor, and the whole stupid family. Jed, Jethro, Ellie Mae, and Lieutenant Mark Templeton.
Who's that little fellow?
I don't know. Must be some neighborhood kid that jumped in the pond with them. Well, you know what to do. Miss Jane is waiting to drive them home. Quick as you work your magic. Come in, Miss Hathaway. You know Dr. Klingner.
Yes, hello, Doctor.
Miss Hathaway.
Well, see you at home.
Well, how will you get there?
Oh, I want to walk. I need time to think and pray.
That little lady has the most extraordinary frog fixation. She thinks these frogs here are her family.
Who's the little one?
Neighbor kid. The most remarkable manifestation is her absolute conviction that that one is a lieutenant in the United States Navy.
He is. Well, just his real-life counterpart, Doctor. He's a naval frogman.
Oh.
He's teaching the rest of the family to scuba dive, and Granny is convinced that every time they go underwater, they turn into frogs. She's an extreme aquaphobic.
Oh, well, now I'm beginning to understand. Well, the first thing we must do is to try and treat her aquaphobia.
Well, that won't be easy.
Well, fortunately, she seems to have complete confidence in me, and scuba diving is a hobby of mine.
Well, that's wonderful. Once she sees you in the water, her fears will vanish.
Well, it's worth a try. Oh, can you drive me over?
Oh, of course.
Oh. Sharon, would you mind rounding up these frogs?
Oh, of course, darling.
And I'll be back for my 2 o'clock appointment.
George, I don't think she knows that we're married.
Oh, you're Mrs. Klingner.
Right,
I was about to apply for your job.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Klinger, this is Jed Clampett.
Pleased to meet you, Doctor.
Mr. Clampett?
Ellie Mae?
Howdy, Doctor.
Ellie, you're much lovelier as a girl than you were as a frog.
And this is Jethro.
Howdy, Doc.
Jethro?
And Lieutenant Mark Templeton.
Glad to hear you're a scuba enthusiast, Doctor.
Well, I haven't had too much practice lately, but I still think I can put on a demonstration for Granny.
Isn't that a marvelous idea?
Sure is. Brilliant.
Well, it's a start. Now, I think it's very important that when Granny gets here, we two be alone.
Oh, we'll make ourselves scarce.
Now, you'll find plenty of gear over there in the dressing room.
Oh, thank you.
Come on, everybody. I sure do hope this will help Granny get over being scared of water.
If anyone can help Granny,
Yonder comes Granny.
Hallelujah, he done it again. Let me look at you. Oh, you're beautiful, perfect, just like you was. Oh, I'm so happy. Miss Jane, thank you for fetching him home. And thank Dr. Klingler for another miracle.
Well, you can thank him yourself, Granny. He's here.
Dr. Klingler?
That's right.
Where?
He's fixing to go into the cement pond and swim underwater.
Oh, no, not him.
That's right, Granny.
See, Granny, we ain't so crazy. He wants to be a frogman himself.
Oh, no, I gotta stop him. Oh. Doctor, if you're in there, get out quick before it's too late. The longer you stay under the water, the more chance you have of turning into a... Oh, no! Doctor, you of all people, after you've seen what happened to the others, how could you do it? I don't know nobody that can change you back. What's that pretty secretary of yours gonna think when you hop in looking like that? To say nothing of your next patient. Oh, well, all I can do is take you down there and try and explain how it happened. Come on now. Come on over here. Get in the sack. Now, darling, before I show you what's in this sack, I want to ask you, how long have you been the doctor's secretary?
Oh, golly, let's see. I worked for him a year before we got married, so that would be going on about...
You're his wife?
That's right.
Oh, me. That's gonna make it double hard.
Hard to what?
To open this sack. Before I do, I want you to think back to your wedding vows. Remember how you promised to take the doctor for better or for worse?
Yes?
Well, you've had the better. Here comes the worst. There he is, honey.
Who?
Your lawful wedded husband, George M. Klingler, Jr.
Yes, of course. Yes, hi, George. My, you certainly are looking well.
Mrs. Klingler, you're a brave woman, and you're taking this real good. But let's face it, he don't look well. He's a mess.
Well, he certainly isn't the man I married.
That's for sure. What do you aim to do with him?
I think I'll take him home to the children.
You got young'uns?
Yes. They might enjoy keeping him in the fish pond.
Mrs. Klingler, it's one thing to be brave, but if that man ever needed love and affection, he needs it now.
Yes, and you're right, and I will see that he does get it.
Just remember something. It might be our salvation. Do you remember the story of the pretty girl that kissed the frog and turned him into a handsome prince?
Yes.
Try it.
Well, I hardly think that
I've seen it work, darling. Try it. Pick him up in your hands and kiss him.
Well, I don't...
I won't watch. I know it's embarrassing. Ellie felt the same way. I'll leave.
Thank you.
Good luck, and I'll be praying for you.
Well, George, you wanted to be a psychiatrist.
Hi, hon. Everything all right?
The frog lady was just here.
Granny.
Yes.
So that's why I missed her at the swimming pool. Who's that?
You?
Handsome devil, isn't he?
I think so.